Well, hello everybody, it's Dr. Carmen Bright, and this is Car Chronicles. So I keep telling you guys, if you're missing out on Clubhouse on Tuesdays at 7:45 Pacific Standard Time, AM, with my mother, you guys are missing out on great conversations. We had a conversation, we were talking about the narcissist stare. And one of the things that I say is that we usually get some good information, then we as creators go out and we create more videos concerning the topics that we had with her. So if you missed it, I don't know when you're going to get the video. If you missed it, go to Clubhouse. You can go back and listen to the replay. It's Destiny Helper House. So you guys, it was a great conversation. Listen, one of the things that I want to talk about, and I talked about this before, is the narcissist stare. What's the purpose of the narcissist stare? So think about this for a minute. You guys already know the narcissist cycle, which is the idealization, which includes the love bombing, the idealization, the devaluation, the discard, and after the discard, we do the Hoover, and then back to the idealization. You know, the idealization and love bombing becomes shorter and shorter when they pick up on your habits. But during that idealization, during that love bombing stage, you know, this is where most people feel they get the misconception that this person or that narcissist is all into you. You get their undivided attention. They're just looking at you and you're staring in their eyes, and it's just wonderful. You know, you have that undivided attention. But what you don't understand, what is happening during that idealization, that love bombing stage, is that the stare is not a stare of affection, is not a stare of bonding with you, is not a stare of undivided attention. The stare is to gather as much information about you as they possibly can. They're checking your breathing. They're checking when they say certain things, how you're reacting to what they're saying. They're absorbing you. They're absorbing how you communicate. They're absorbing, whether you have freckles like I do, you have freckles, whether you have moles, how you respond, whether you can maintain eye contact with them. They absorb everything. They're taking in intel. They're taking as much information as they possibly can. And you're mistaking that as undivided attention. They're sexy. They're looking at me with those sexy eyes. And don't mess around and let them have sexy eyes, because they know that they have sexy eyes, because they've probably been told 100,000 times that they have sexy eyes. They'll use those dreamy eyes, whether it's a female or a male. They'll use them dreamy eyes to stare at you, and they're staring at you, and that stare is so intent because they're absorbing intel. They're absorbing you, and they're gaining intel. They're watching everything that you do. They're watching everything, and remember, they're gathering enough information because they're mirroring you. There are mirror neurons in the brain. For little kids, they mirror what adults do. There are mirror neurons in the brain, but they're actually absorbing you so that they can mirror back what you're giving off, what you're doing. Remember, it's a power and control thing, that narcissist stare. And oftentimes they're looking for vulnerabilities as it is. And there are people that are extremely shy, that avoid or lack confidence, that avoid eye contact. And so that narcissist uses the narcissist stare for the purpose of intimidation, for power and control, to lock a gaze, to maintain control, to intimidate, to instill fear, especially if you've been in a situationship with a narcissist where they have become violent or aggressive. They use that as aggression, and they stare. Another thing that I was sharing is that a lot of times people miss the red flags, and a lot of times people have missed the red flags, but they have talked about the fact that their eyes become black. And I want you to think about the biology of the narcissist stare. A narcissist has pure hatred in them. This pure hatred. When they are trying to, it's not even build rapport, when they're trying to pull you, when they're trolling you, when they're trying to love bomb you, they see something fascinating about you because you're a new toy, you're a new shiny thing. And remember, they grow bored very easily, but they're fascinated by what they see with you because you're that new shiny toy. And so they're fascinated with what they see because You're that new thing. And so they're staring at you, and you have to remember that they lack confidence. They lack, a good self-esteem. And so they're looking at you, at all the things that you can do for them. All the things they're fascinated by these wonderful things about you. And the more they're around you, the more you intimidate them. They're not going to show you that, but the more you intimidate them. And the angrier that they get, because they are intimidated by these great values. And I said this, Telsha with the T on MPD lets us know that, how does she say it? Confidence has no competition. Well, the narcissist lacks confidence, so everything is competition. Everything good about you is competitive for them. They're always going to compete. And you can tell that the rage that they have inside of them is begins to because you're a competition. And the more they're around you, the angrier that they get, the more that they rage, the more they have to compete with you. And when a narcissist rage level is increasing, see, that's the danger zone. That's the red flag for you, that danger zone. But when their rage level is increasing, you have to think for a minute. The rage level is increasing, the anger, the rage is going up, the pupils start dilating. Think about it for just a minute. Normally your pupil dilates in the dark because it's trying to get more light. And so the darkness that's inside of them, the rage, the pupil is dilating. Why do you need that big of a pupil in light? You guys know you've had your eyes dilated in a doctor's office before, and you come out and have to wear shades because that light is really hurting you. But that lets you know, especially like if they have sociopaths, psychopaths, where they totally disconnect. When they're disconnecting and those pupils start dilating, pure darkness, where the pupil is dilating, it needs that much light, and they're staring at you where the pupils are dilating, and you're looking at them thinking to yourself, it feels like something else is staring at me. Whether you are a Christian or a believer or spiritual, whatever, but for a person's eye to dilate and their eye becomes totally black, and you can feel the pure evil, and you can look at them with these black eyeballs, and they're staring at you in pure hatred. There's another thing, when that rage is going up, when that rage, that adrenaline starts pumping in their system. And so when their adrenaline starts pumping, they go into fight or flight, that fight or flight mode. And that adrenaline starts pumping, the cortisol starts going up, the pupils start dilating, where you're looking at them and you're thinking to yourself, this is pure evil. How can a person be this evil where their eyes are turning black? That is a red flag. That is letting you know that you are entering into a danger zone with them. And if they've ever assaulted you, if they've ever, been aggressive with you, that is the red flag. And most people that have been in situationships with a narcissist, you have a hard time trusting your instinct, trusting your red flag indicator, you're trusting your GPS, trusting your alert system. That right there is letting you know, as their sometimes you don't even catch the pupil actually dilating. By the time you see them, their eye is black. That is danger. That is the level of rage that is inside of them. That is they're competing with you, and they hate. That lets you know that they hate, that much hatred that is inside of them. And the sad part about it for most people is, I can't believe that this person never loved me. They don't have the capacity to love you the way that you love people. They don't have the capacity to love you. They lack empathy. They lack impulse control. They like what they see about you because there's something that they want. It's like they want to possess you. They want to possess your attributes, everything about you. And they find out that they cannot do it. And so the good things about you, they hate. The haters, they hate everything about you because they can't have it. Isn't that scary? For some of you, you can see that blank stare. You can see that total disconnect from reality, the total disconnect, and they're just staring at you blankly. Most people understand to stare too much is inappropriate. Society, that's inappropriate. They go beyond inappropriateness to make sure that you are uncomfortable. The narcissist stare. You're welcome.